From WFRV TV Local 5, your local election headquarters. This is Newsmaker Sunday with your host, Tom Zaleski.
Good morning. Welcome to Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zaleski. Today we focus on the November election and the race to become the state senator representing the Green Bay area. Democrat Jonathon Hansen faces Republican Eric Wimberger. The winner takes the seat held by Democrat Dave Hansen, who is retiring at the end of his term. And in today's edition, we talk with Eric Wimberger, born in De Pere, served as a U.S. Marine Corps captain. Wimberger is an attorney who has his own law practice, and we welcome Eric Wimberger to Newsmaker Sunday. You are no stranger to our program. Good to have you back again, sir.
Thanks again.
You running for office again. You ran for the same seat before against Senator Dave Hansen. Outside of the fact that he is retiring, what's different about this race than the last time around?
Well, it was razor thin last time, and the demographics of the district have changed in a way that I think is going to be favorable for us. But obviously the whole political climate has changed and the needs of the community have changed. So a lot of things have become different since then.
Mm-hmm. Before we get into the political details, Hansen, Jonathon Hansen running, any concern on your part about name recognition in this race?
Well, coattails on names are something to keep an eye on. Mm-hmm. Some people may not be up to date on the latest local things going on, and they go into the booth. But it's a different year, different people, and the pull of an incumbent on that personal tie is kind of what changes the dynamic when it's a 50-50 district like it is in this area. So the people who are going to make that difference on voting for someone because of a personal connection are going to obviously know about that.
Born in De Pere, Brown County guy, lifelong. What would it mean to you to represent your home district? I guess maybe the first question is, why are you running? You got a nice law practice, which is a pretty good gig. Why run for state senate?
Well, right. When you have your own business, I guess you can take naps whenever you want, I suppose. But I've grown up here. I've seen problems in the community come and go, and good leaders and bad leaders, and to have an opportunity to just make the difference for everyone in a good way, try to figure out what's right and do that, and help the community as best as I can. I can't pass up an opportunity to do that.
You know that we're living in difficult times right now with COVID-19. How has these situations that we're facing day in and day out adjusted your campaign?
Well, there are the rules, of course, so you've got to figure that out. It's been a little early in the campaign, so going and doing fundraising and things like that, there wasn't the mask mandate for a large portion of that time. You can still go door to door, I suppose. You try to keep your distance and respect that, and some people are more concerned than others. But stay-at-home order happened so early on that overall, I suppose it didn't affect too much, especially with it being before the primary.
As you well know, we are a divided state right now. We have a Republican-controlled legislature. We have a Democrat in the governor's mansion. If you do get elected, how do you work to bridge that gap? Because frankly, as you well know, nothing is happening right now in Madison.
I think a lot of problems in our community nowadays are that people are trying to impose their kind of vision on each other. I think what's going to help out a lot is to start to leave each other alone a little bit more. We are at such loggerheads and butting heads that it's time to step back and understand that the phrase "good fences make good neighbors" is one that rings true sometimes, because if you know and respect each other's boundaries and don't cross it, you know where it is, then you can start to actually ask for help and come across that barrier there.
You mentioned the word loggerheads. When it comes to voters, they're angry out there, and it's beyond just Democratic and Republican butting heads. We're fighting over masks. We're fighting over whether or not schools should open. We're fighting over this racial divide. So what are you saying to people that you could bring to the job to kind of bring folks a little more together.
In a general sense, I'm a conservative, so I like a smaller, more efficient government. And when there's a small government and that's more focused on doing particular tasks and not going out there and trying to control or manage everything, then naturally you don't get as angry as much because there's not this imposition. So a lot of the all of these programs, all of the things that happen in government, you need police, you need schools, and roads, good roads, but it comes at a price. So, and we go to our neighbors and we collect money from them, you know, whether they like it or not for these things. So out of respect for each other, we ought to just kind of keep it as a minimum, come up with an actual plan first without saying this isn't fair and that's not fair. This is my plan, this is how I want to pay for it. Can we come up with a way to do that? Is it a good thing to begin with? And then come up with the solution after that, rather than looking at each other and saying, well, that guy has more than me, and things like that. Look at more specific plans and make the argument, and not be as wanting to push everybody into a particular paradigm that you individually like.
We've got 3 months to go before the November election. What is your top priority if you get elected?
Well, you know, locally, I know this might be a little bit of small ball, but you've got small ball as far as the statewide things. But things that are real important to us here right now are going to be the PFAS up in Marinette.
Right.
How we're going to handle that. I want to take a look at the coal piles downtown and clean up that. I think that would be a real boon for the downtown Green Bay area and the property tax base. Southern Bridge in De Pere has been ever since I was in high school, and De Pere has been talked about. So maybe we can make some more headway on that. But those three things would be my priority. But in a more general sense, businesses took a big hit. My mom owns a store, a retail store, and you know, when you buy a lot of inventory that costs a lot, you still have to pay the bills for that, and then there's an order that says you can't sell it. You know, the bills are coming in, you're staring down bankruptcy. So just managing a situation that's business friendly is a good thing for the state, for statewide and us in Northeast Wisconsin. And security is very important too. We need police and a way for people to have stability and not be afraid to go out and take financial or other risks because something might get broken or destroyed. Those are real important things too.
And you are about 5 steps ahead of me because all those issues I want to get into as we continue with Senate candidate Eric Wimberger. So stay with us.